Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. This is episode 145, if you want to call this episode. We're going to be recapping the recent playoff games, starting off with the Thunder's comeback win versus the Nuggets to take a 3-2 lead. Over the Nuggets in round two of the playoffs. Before we get into it, though, make sure you guys like the video, share the video, follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. If you want to enjoy the content, make sure you stick around. Turn the post notifications on so you can be aware when you drop. But we're gonna get right into it, man. That was an amazing game, one of the best games of the playoffs. Game 6, the Thunder get the 112-105 win. Nikola Jokic had 44 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals on 80.9 true shooting, and he played 44 minutes. He was amazing tonight. 5 of 7 from 3, 7 of 25 from the field, and got to the line 5 times. He was the best player on the floor. He looked like he was the best player in the world again, even though he struggled in this series. But the Thunder, they pull it out. They were down 9 going into the fourth quarter, and it felt like all hope was lost because they could not hit a shot. Shea was struggling. Dort was missing everything. Jada was having a terrible game. It felt like Dave Adelman was out coaching Mark Daigneault again. The Nuggets defense was performing very, very well, and they just flipped the script. Major credit to Lou Dort. I was trashing him all game on Twitter. I was saying that they need to trade him, which I still think they do need to do that. Don't get it twisted. I was saying they need to trade him. They need to bench him. Mark stuck with his player, and Lou Dort hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter to really get OKC back in this game. And then Chet made some really big plays down the stretch of the game. Isaiah Hartenstein made some really big plays down the stretch of the game. Jalen Williams made some really big plays down the stretch of the game. And Shea hit the dagger 3 to really give them like a 6-point lead and really in this game. It was an amazing game, one of the best of the playoffs. Q, what was your takeaway from game 5 of this series that is at least going 6?
It's a game of shots, and like you said, Dort wasn't making anything early. You could say the same thing for Christian Brown, Westbrook, MPJ. J-Dub started off hot. Not hot, but he started off good, but cooled off. Chet was good in the first quarter, cooled off. Jokic pretty much was carrying the roster. Jamal Murray was going crazy. So similar things that we've been seeing, give or take a few things. MPJ is not a real player. Christian Brown, he needs to get better offense. I said this, I didn't say it, but like I was thinking this like a game or two ago. If he needs to get a lot better on offense, especially if he wants to do it in full like these late game things. Denver just don't, outside of Jokic, they just don't got it. And especially with Jokic, this is the best game he played by far in like the past 2 weeks, I should say. Probably been like 2 weeks since he had a great game and you squander it, especially down the stretch. He was the only player that really did anything in the fourth quarter. And past the MPJ, like he has not been able to hit a shot. So it was weird that he trusted him in that moment. But it's like, what are you going to do? I got to get the ball up. The Thunder is very resilient. All that depth, it shows up eventually. Like, yeah, we was both trashing Dort, but when he needed his shots, he hit shots. So when it sparked the run, and that's ultimately led to get SGA in that spot where he could take over and finish off the game. It's tough. Got a game at Denver that could go either way. OKC smart to try to close it out there because you're gonna have to see Minnesota, who's also like a decent matchup for them, and they're gonna be a little bit more rested. So you're gonna try and match any team that go up against Minnesota. It's gonna be a long series just because they're rested and they pretty much had the number on both of them. But I think OKC needs to get out this matchup as fast as possible. Don't want to get into a one-game scenario with Jokic, which you've seen him just do just now, 44-15. You don't want to get him in like a game where he could just go off of 50 and fire all his bullets just to get out this series because at that point it's just trying to move on. But all credit SGA stunk for 3 quarters and then he just turned it on. MVP does MVP things. I think they should be glad they got this win.
This matchup has been very, very interesting. Both defenses just have focused on MVP candidates. The Thunder are sending constant nail help, and well, not nail help because Jokic is posting up, but they're sending constant help at Jokic. They're harassing him every single time he touches the ball. They're putting six hands around him at all times, and he's creating a lot of open looks for the Nuggets. And in this game, he was just aggressive from the start, especially on the offensive glass. But he was really intentional about getting to his spots and getting buckets. And taking advantage of his size. So he showed out tonight. The Nuggets, give credit to David Alderman. They've made Shea really struggle in this series relative to his standards as an MVP level player. They show him 4 or 5 bodies every single time, every single drive. They've sent a lot of nail help. They've sent a lot of double teams. They sent a lot of traps. They play zone. They've had some amazing coverages for Shea. And it's really highlighted a lot of Shea's weaknesses, which we've already seen. We already knew this coming into this playoffs. We've seen it last year. We just know from watching Shea that he's not the best passer. What this playoffs, I think, has shown a little bit more, though, is how much he struggled with physicality. People have been able to bump him out of spots, get him rattled a little bit. He starts taking bad shots. They've closed out the paint, and he hasn't been able to get to the rim all the way because the Thunder don't have enough shooting around him to, like, really respect these players around him. Like, of course, they can just pack the paint because Chet ain't gonna hurt you from 3, really. Like, Chet can shoot, obviously. He's not gonna hurt you from 3 on a value, like a volume level. He's not gonna do that. Dort is definitely not gonna hurt you from 3. J-Dub is not gonna hurt you from 3. Caruso is not gonna hurt you from 3. Kaysen really not gonna hurt you from 3. Isaiah Hartenstein not gonna really hurt you from 3. The only players I think are really gonna hurt you from 3 is Wallace, Isaiah Jones, and Aaron Wiggins. And Aaron Wiggins is really not even the greatest 3-point shooter. So they have been really intentional about loading up on defense and making it tough for Shea, possession after possession after possession. And they've done a great job, but he also aided them in their process by making late passes, missing interior reads, taking tough shots that he doesn't need to, forcing a lot of things. But credit to Shea. In that fourth quarter, he came alive. He had some tough shots. He got to the rim. He got to the foul line. And that dagger 3 was a special play. So credit to the Thunder. They really showed up down the stretch of this game. But I will say, regardless of a win or loss in this game, regardless of a championship or not for this team, there are some very, very glaring issues with this Thunder team. They're all world defensively. They're an historic defensive unit for sure. But their offense simply is just not good enough. Right now, they have Shea as the heliocentric piece of this team, which has worked well in their regular season, but they don't have enough volume shooting around him. And they probably just need a point guard. Shea is a 2 guard. He has a really great handle. He has really good decision-making generally. He doesn't turn the ball over generally, but he's not a good facilitator. He's not a good initiator. He is not a great interior passer. They need an actual point guard that can facilitate, hit pull-up threes, and run offense. They also probably need more size as well. So this team is historically great, or they were in the regular season, and yet they still have so much room to grow. And I think that's a scary thing with the Thunder. And because they're really, really good right now, but they have so much room to grow, and they still have the assets to do it. So it's on Sam Presti to make these moves going forward. I think Lou Dort needs to be on the team. He came through tonight, but in the series he's been awful. I think they need more valuable shooting. They just do. I don't know how they get it done. Maybe they use Dort to do it because he is a $20 million contract. A lot of that's gonna be swept under the bridge if they eventually win a championship this year. But I'm not a fan of, like, even if you win a championship, Q, you still gotta make upgrades because your window is just they go by so quick. A lot of people think that the Thunder have this long 10 to 15 year window. They do not. J-Dub got to get paid soon. Chet got to get paid soon. Injuries. We see the Celtics. They just lost Tatum, and now their future looks uncertain. Anything can happen in this league. Your window is never as long as you think it is. So they need to make improvements on the team immediately, championship or not. I think that's the case.
I've said this many times before. In the like in the terms of like teams winning championships and like going back to back and things of that nature, that doesn't just happen. Like only like the greatest of the greatest all time players have actually gone back to back. Like regular Hall of Famers or like even like the upper tier Hall of Fame, they also don't just go back to back because it just doesn't happen. Like things happen like from year to year, things change all the time. Injuries, like players switching, players retiring, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just not your time. And especially now, since about 2020, every team that's won a championship, somehow everybody thought, okay, they're going to repeat. Thought it was the Lakers. They get hurt, losing round one. Thought it was the Bucks. Chris Middleton get hurt. They lose in round two. Warriors lost in round two. Nuggets lost in round two. Boston Celtics lost in round. These teams aren't just going back to back. The league is just too talented and too deep for you to think you're just going to reel off championships after championship. So you can't sticking with what you had. Especially the players are going to get more expensive now that they won championships. Like it's just not going to work. You got to keep retooling, get younger, get cheaper. Still find talent, still make the upgrades because things get stale and people figure you out, and then you just not it no more. And then something may happen, something drastic. You lose a great player or injury away from just not being relevant anymore for that year or whatever it may be. So you got to like be smart. You got to look at the long view, not the immediate, because sometimes the immediate is just not going to work for you.
How do you feel about this series as of right now? Who do you think is gonna win?
I think OKC should be a slight favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of how the games have gone, like I don't think you should lean one way, too far, whichever way that may be, because these games just been close. Like every time a team has won, the other team has came back and pretty much answered the call and been there. If that's the trend, then I expect the Nuggets to maybe put up a great fight at home. This is Game 7 in OKC. Again, they should still be slight favorites there at home. You got the MVP. They're probably gonna announce the MVP like in the next 48 hours. Uh, what you expect is the first seed. They like 18, 15, 18 games clear of the next seed. I think they should be the favorites. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's Jokic, but I fully expect the depth and to come through. SGA to come through. I just don't think the Nuggets got really actually have enough to really win the series. I think they just be going off the back of Jokic, and Jokic hasn't even been playing great the whole series until tonight anyway.
Yeah, it's tough. I picked the Thunder, so I'm obviously gonna stick with that. And I'm not. I want to say I'm confident in it because of how poorly they've been shooting. But and they got a tough task going into Denver in Game 6. So yeah, I think the Thunder are still gonna win the series though. They have been amazing defensively. They have more depth, like you said. They're younger, more well rested. I don't know how much that matters right now. It's just really about how much are the role players going to step up. Can you have a great game in Game 6? Can Chet play well like he did tonight? Can Isaiah Joe give you something? Can Aaron Wiggins give you something? Can Caruso continue to play well? Can Dort not be terrible from three? Maybe if this game builds confidence for him as a three-point shooter, that bodes well for OKC. So yeah. It's going to be a tall task to go win Game 6, but they have two opportunities to win a series. So they should be favored to do so. And if they can get out of this round, that's a step in the right direction. But the Timberwolves are a threat. They will be a threat too. Not looking past them either. But yeah, man, amazing game. One of the best games of the playoffs. Jokic was amazing. Probably the best individual game of the playoffs from him. So yeah, there's that. Pacers ended the Cavs season in 5 games. This was tough. This is tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie. The Cavaliers made a run to bring this game close. I think it was like 100 to 103. Donovan Mitchell went to the free throw line, missed 3 straight free throws, and then the Pacers capitalized off that, and they used that to win the game. Honestly, you got to give a lot of credit to the Pacers. The Pacers are an amazing team. Before the series started, I said that the Pacers could beat the Cavs. I said they were a threat. they for the last 50 games of the season, the Pacers were a really great basketball team, one of the best in the league, easily a top 10 team to end the season. They have great continuity. They move the ball. They get out in transition. They shoot well in the regular season. I don't think they shoot a lot of threes. They get quality shots. They're very well coached, and they run a 5-out. So they're a dangerous offense for any single team. But I think this series came down to the Cavs being injured and not able to make 3-pointers. I think it's really that simple. It really is that simple. The Cavs have shot like 27% from three, which a part of that has to go to the Pacers as far as the defense. But the Cavs have missed a lot of open looks. A lot of open looks. They were the best 3-point shooting team in the league in the regular season. And in this playoff series, they shot 27% from three. And then while the Pacers are shooting like above 40%, I think, from three, they've hit some insane shots. I think the series can be whittled down to shooting variance and injuries. Obviously, the Pacers capitalized on the Cavaliers being banged up, so you got to give them credit for that. But I don't know how much I'm going to take from this season for the Cavs, where it's like, damn, you won 64 games in the regular season, and now you out in the second round. I think a lot of it has to do with injuries. Darius Garland was not himself this whole. Whenever he played on the court, he wasn't great because he could not move at all. You could tell his toe was definitely still bothering him. Donovan Mitchell wore down in his playoffs. He was playing through injury clearly, and he did all he can do. I'm not giving any slander to Donovan Mitchell. I think Evan Mobley was great in this series, but he was also hobbled. That game 2 loss where they were up by like 7 with like 30 seconds to go and they lost the game really came back to bite them in the series because at worst it would be 2-2 right now. So disappointing season, a very, very disappointing into the season for the Cavaliers, but a large part of it was due to injury. Like you had to chalk it up to injury, to shooting luck. But the underlying thing is like next year, do you really want to be a second apron team again? Evan Mobley's contract is going to kick in next year. Do you move Jared Allen? Do you move Darius Garland? You have so many like decisions to make this offseason because you had one of the best seasons in franchise history in the regular season, and you still lost in the second round. I think Jared Allen should be on the table. He's a great player, one of the best centers in the league. Mobley statistically is better without him on the floor. Yeah, man. But I think you have to give real thought to running this back for the Cavs though, because if the Celtics are out the picture next year, which they're going to be, the Celtics are out the picture next year. You have to give real thought to running this back. You do, because your people that are going to be in your way are the Knicks and the Pacers. You have to feel that you can beat both of those teams if you're healthy, in my opinion. So, and the Thunder, obviously, but yeah, I would probably run it back for one more year, and then after that, you make a decision. What you think, Q? Pacers in the series in 5 games. What's next for the Cavs' future?
It's tough. It's tough, and a lot of time, like especially throughout Twitter, there's a couple of contingents that like believe the Cavs are like frauds, second round ceiling, ain't really gonna do too much, whatever. And like the result offers some confirmation bias for those same takes. But like you said, next year there's two teams that we thought should be better. They're not like in this mix all the time. They're just not going to be there. Boston is not going to be in the mix. Milwaukee's not going to be in the mix. So like you have a clear path to being. If you just run it back, you're still statistically like regular season wise, you're probably still going to be the 1 or 2 seed, something like that, with this same roster. And you have a more favorable matchup, especially if you go into the playoff healthy. You're gonna have a more favorable matchup. You won't have to see any of these teams most likely till at least the second round, most likely conference final. But the second apron is a thing. It's scaring teams. You don't want to get caught in that. If you can move off early, take a lump now, but be better in the long haul for the future, you do that. But You gotta understand, Donovan Mitchell ain't 25. Basically, he's almost 30. So like you got to think about that. I think about Darius Garland. They were worried about his toe going into this, but even before the series, there's a lot of things going on. Like you said, Mobley's money about to kick in. It's just a little bit difficult. The Jason Tatum injury and the Giannis with the Bucks possibly acting out kind of puts a wrinkle in certain things where you might be on the fence. You might convince people like organization, let's try this one more year, whatever it may be. I think you should cut ties early, just for the sake of the future. On Indy side, this is another run where like it kind of seemed quote unquote fluky because like all these teams are injured, but it's like at some point that ain't on them. Like they know who's in front of them. It's not like whether Damian Lillard play. Like I said, I always said like the Pacers play Milwaukee well, whether Dame and Giannis are playing or not. So I think that series would have still went the same way, in my opinion. This season, this series, not so much, but it's still Tyrese Haliburton in these closeout games been doing his thing. It's like every time you look up, the Pacers are going on a 15-2, 15-4 run, something like that. Like they get on these runs and it's hard to stop. And they don't have the greatest defense, but they're opportunistic and they get timely stops. They get out in transition. They get open looks. They get quality shots, and it's just at least for a great basketball unit. So I think they could ride that high. Whether they make the finals or not, who knows? This would be the year to do it. Whether they win or not doesn't really matter. But they made the finals at Indiana. Making the finals, that's great for the NBA, especially small markets. If the Knicks make it to the finals, that's great for the NBA too because the Knicks be good. But the East is in turmoil right now. And it's looking pretty open next year. It just sucks for the Cavs. I had high hopes for them, but good for Indy. I came around on Indy. I actually respect them a lot more now. So like this open your eyes to a lot of things, and the landscape of the East will look very, very different next year.
Yeah. Also, I think I want to kind of highlight the Pacers a little bit more too, because they earned it. They can't control injuries. Hallie was great in this game. Pascal Siakam has been great all playoffs. Andrew Nembhard stepped up. Aaron Nesmith has been really good. Ricardo has coached amazing playoffs so far. Miles Turner has some really good games, and I think he had 5 blocks in 2 of the games in this series. So they definitely deserve credit. They're a really good team, well-rounded team. They play much better defensively than I thought they are capable of. So all credit to them. Tyrese Haliburton, while we're on the subject, it's time. It's time.
That's what you was doing.
He had 31 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists on 87.9 true shooting in a closeout game. It is time for a Tyrese Haliburton. Would you rather? All right, Q. I want you. I already know you're gonna be honest, so I don't even got to tell you that. We're gonna do a Tyrese Haliburton. Would you rather? First name up, Trae Young.
Oh man. I'm gonna go Tyrese Haliburton. I was bullish on this. Like I everything in my being wants me to take Trae Young, but I gotta take Hallie. Like he's just way more efficient. Like the self-creation situation, still I'd like to see a lot more, but I can't argue with like him actually like Trae Young can shoot. Tyrese Haliburton really can shoot. Like he really can shoot. And like again, the self-creation aside, he still gets open shots. He just still generates top offenses. Like I can't put that aside. He's 28-10 guy. As one healthy running also, he's better than Trae Young right
now. I'm also gonna go with Trae Young. I think Holly is just more efficient with his offense. He doesn't turn the ball over. He can't scale up as a scorer like Trae Young can, but he is so conducive to like great offense. I'm gonna just take Trent. I'm gonna just take Holly off that. Next name up is Cade Cunningham.
Give me Cade. I ain't give me Cade. 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 It's not a clear. And Tyrese Haliburton might be considered the better player. I'm going Cade. Aside from my own bias, the ability to get his own shot in this situation, I value. Cade Cunningham is a very good playmaker. Not to the level of Tyrese Haliburton, but he's very good in his own right. I like the size, I like the rebound, and I like his mid-post game ability to get downhill. Still has to be better at finishing layups, but Tyrese Haliburton not a great finisher at the rim in my eyes either. So it's pretty close. I'm gonna go Cade.
I'm going to be completely unbiased. As of right now, I'm going Tyrese Haliburton. I'm not gonna lie. I think they are in both of these players are in very different situations in terms of the quality of team they play on. But just analyzing them as individual players. Sure, yes, Cade is probably a better scorer than Tyrese Haliburton. He's better at creating his own shot. But Cade is really inefficient. He's still inefficient. I know he doesn't have a secondary ball handler. I know he doesn't have a secondary option, but him individually as a player is inefficient. He struggles to finish at the rim. He struggles to create separation. I want him to shoot more threes. And Tyrese Haliburton is the pillar of efficiency. He's a pillar of moving the ball quickly to his teammates. He's a pillar of getting the ball out in transition. And I think at times Cade plays too slow. He plays too late in the shot clock, and it's not the best for like offense. I don't think it's any type of clearing or anything like that. But I am going to go with Tyrese Haliburton. I think Tyrese is the better shooter. He's a more efficient passer, and I think he's a better ceiling raiser than Cade Cunningham. I think Cade is the better floor raiser, but Tyrese is the better ceiling raiser. So as of right now, I'm going to go with Tyrese Haliburton, but I do think Cade's potential is higher if he can become more efficient, if he can play faster in the shot clock, because he's also a better defender than Holly as well by like a lot, which matters. I think Cade will improve as his team gets better, but individually as players, I think I'm going to get the edge to Tyrese Haliburton slightly. And I may catch some flack from that, but I'm standing on what I believe in right now. And unbiasedly, I think Tyrese Haliburton is a better player right now, at least. Next name,
for that, to be honest.
Yeah, next name up is Jalen Brunson.
You give me Jalen Brunson. Tyrese Haliburton clears him as a playmaker, but in terms of strictly passing, but Jalen Brunson's ability to get a bucket, him himself, his own gravity, also being at that 6 foot frame, he's a true 3-level scorer, very efficient. Literally is backpacking the Knicks. 27 a game, clutch player of the year, been the best closer this season, been amazing this playoffs. It's Jalen Brunson.
I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson too. I think Jalen Brunson is the much better scorer. Holly cannot scale up as a scorer like he can. I think Jalen Brunson is a better playoff performer as well. I think there's a conversation to be had of maybe down the line, but right now I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson. I think he's able to shoulder a heavier load as well on offense than Tyrese Haliburton. He's just a much more relentless offensive player, in my opinion. Next thing up is LaMelo Ball.
Tyrese Haliburton. Next.
I'm gonna go Tyrese Haliburton. It's pretty clear at this point. Haliburton, not Haliburton. LaMelo's shot selection is really bad. I understand they didn't have anyone on the team outside of him this year, but I think Tyrese Haliburton is arguably the better shooter, more efficient passer, doesn't turn the ball over. Better at getting to the rim and finishing at the rim than LaMelo Ball. So that's pretty much it. Last name is De'Aaron Fox, the player he got traded. Well, not traded for, but yeah.
Well,
Last name is De'Aaron Fox.
it's Tyrese Haliburton. Uh, I like De'Aaron Fox. That's what he fits one of the type of archetypes I like, but he's not nowhere near the playmaker that Haliburton is. Uh, and he is the engine of his offense. I don't think De'Aaron Fox was the engine of his offense in both spots that he's been in this year. He's a better school, better creator, better like in terms of like his own shot, can't get downhill, uh, get in the mid range, but he can't shoot like Hallie. And I just don't think he can like run an offense like Haliburton can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tyrese Haliburton. Much better playmaker, much better shooter. He raises the ceiling more than De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is um, a scoring point guard who can get to the rim and get out in transition, and he's a solid defender as well. I just think that again, Tyrese Haliburton just raises the ceiling more. It's gonna be interesting to see where I rank him at, and after this playoff run or whatever, in the season for him. All right, we're gonna move on though. We got some very very unfortunate news this morning. Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. It's confirmed. He did that while going for the ball in Game 5 against the Knicks. So my main question is, Q, where do the Celtics go from here? What do they have to do going forward? They're going to miss a whole year of Jason Tatum. It's looking bleak next year. What do they do? What's the next move?
I'm always going to be in the camp of do it early before it's too late. By the time Jason Tatum come back, Al Horford's not going to be there. Drew Holiday's probably not going to be there, and that's 2 years later on KP. We don't know the health on that. Jaylen Brown to be 2 years old. It's like the team was built to win now. I don't think like after this injury, I don't think that you should be looking to try to really, really compete with this same roster coming through. So I think they should take their medicine next year and try to move off as much pieces as possible. Try to get, cheaper around Jason Tatum. So when he does come back, again, he's young. He by the time he's going to be 28 going into 29, still in his prime. Don't rush him back. Give him a good, recovery plus a little bit extra time on top, just so like he doesn't have to like go through the slumps of like during rehab and whatnot. And you got your pick next year. You could add a top prospect, to Jason Tatum, a top 10 player in the league. If you still have Jaylen Brown, whatever the cards may hold, you still got your duo. You got a top prospect coming into the team, and whatever pieces you picked up in trades and whatnot, and then go from there. By that time, the other teams in the East might look a little bit different too, because they're also built to win right now. They can look a lot different. You could come back on and still be the Celtics, not of last year, but still that Celtics team that's pretty much walking to an ECF every single time. But take the year off, take your medicine, get a top pick, and then keep on doing the Dallas model. Dallas, they got a pick the very next season. They were in the finals. You could do the same, pretty much back feel similarly to do the same thing and end up in the ECF like you've been doing, riding back of Jason Tatum.
The Celtics are going to have some really, really tough decisions to make this offseason. With Jason Tatum's injury, I feel like the best plan is to shop Kristaps Porzingis. He cannot stay healthy, and he's getting paid a lot of money. Shop Drew Holiday, who is getting older and regressing. And next year you just need to tank. You do. It makes no sense to be a second apron team and try to be competitive without Jason Tatum. You're not going anywhere next year. You're just not. The 2026 NBA draft is really, really great at the top. If you can get one of those top picks, you can either trade it for a lot of assets from great players, or you can just make us the selection and hit a soft reset. I would probably try to trade it because you have Tatum in his prime. You have Jaylen Brunson. You have Jaylen Brown in his prime, but you need to either make a selection in the 2026 draft or trade the pick. It makes no sense to Go out next year, have Jaylen Brown be the number one option, and win like 40, 45 games, make the play in and lose in the second round. It just makes no sense to do that. Or lose in the first round, maybe. It makes no sense to do that. Get under the apron if you can. Tank, try to get a top pick, and let Tatum get healthy, and try again in 2026, 2027. It's going to be – I don't know who's going to try to trade for Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know who's going to try to trade for Jrue Holiday. I will even try to trade Jaylen Brown if you can. His contract is terrible. And see if you can get some positive assets out of moving his deal. They may have to even attach assets to move up Jaylen Brown. That contract is awful. It genuinely is. And I don't think a lot of teams
Harrison immediately. I said, I'm gonna call Nico Harrison. Like, yo, listen.
You never know. You can probably trade him for Cooper or something.
Don't let Cooper Flag get to Boston. That'd be crazy.
Nah. But the Celtics, man, I don't feel bad for them, but I kind of feel bad for Tatum. Their future just went like their future looked like pretty bright. Now it looks really, really uncertain because you don't know how Tatum's going to return from the injury. They got to get under the second apron. They're getting older. Horford is aging. KP can't stay on the floor. Jrue Holiday is closer to retirement than his prime. So
he was going to retire. Like he was literally going to retire. I'm glad Jason Tatum got his ring though.
Yeah,
like that kind of pretty much solidifies his Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah.
We talked about 4 first-team All-NBAs, 5 total, 6 All-Star appearances. You got your ring. Like most 40-point games is like basically Celtics like playoff history. Like he got that out the way. He got the ring. So like when he come back, he's not under immense pressure to win right away because that would have been tough asking a 29-year-old off an Achilles injury to try to get a championship if they didn't get over the hump. So I'm glad he got out the way. It's gonna be tough next, like Jason Tatum next year, but if they do what they do, if they're proper, they can go into 2026 with a very good squad.
Luckily for the Celtics, though, they have the best GM arguably in basketball, so they can get it done. If it's anybody that can get it done, it's Brad Stevens. So that's the one glass half full optimistic approach to the situation that they have with Brad Stevens, and they still have a lot of their own picks, so they'll be fine. But last segment for the video is going to be Knicks versus Pacers predictions. The Pacers have moved on to ECF. The Knicks are still in the series with Boston, but without Tatum, they're not winning that series. I doubt they even win Game 5. Maybe they'll try to debut. I mean, try to like
not go out sorry.
Maybe they try to like dedicate a game to Jason Tatum in Game 5. Maybe it is in Boston, so we'll see. But they're gonna lose the series. So Pacers Knicks rematch from last year. This is also, I think, these are also teams that have history of hating each other. So the storylines in this one is really good. It's a rematch of last year. It's gonna be an exciting series. Both of these teams are very good. Obviously, surprise of the playoffs. I don't think anyone had the Knicks and the Pacers in the ECF. So who are you choosing, though, Q?
I'd go with the Knicks. This time around, fully healthy squad. Not quite as deep, but a lot better at the top. Brunson and Halley. Brunson and Halley. If you want to say that kind of cancel, I don't think like matchups really work like that, but he's going to do it. They're both going to do their thing. Brunson's going to be relentless trying to get downhill. And, like, Miles Turner isn't, like – he's not what I would call, like, a real anchor. So it's like I'm not scared to go down there with him. He get a box, whatever it is, but I still feel comfortable getting 2 feet in the paint. Got OG, a steady diet of OG and Mikal. Pretty much on Halley should get the job done, make him uncomfortable. He's just really worried about Pascal, but Pascal, he's slow and methodical. It's not really how they want to try to run it through Pascal. I think they could just run and gun the whole time. I think this is, if there's any series for Karl-Anthony Towns to be at least all-star level, regular season level, this is probably the one. Probably easily give you 20 and 15. Mitchell Robinson could cause some damage too, just with the glass and him being able to switch and do things like that. I don't think like they're gonna resort to like hack a Mitch or anything like that. I think they're just gonna be able to attack them in waves on both sides of the ball. So all the Indiana stuff it might be cool. Might go 6. Go 6. I'm going Knicks in 6 regardless. It was close last year. It went 7 with like the Knicks having 5 players. Like Indiana brought back the same team, but Jalen Brunson came back with some better friends. So now we get to see it for real. Now Knicks is basically going to the finals.
I'm going to go with the Knicks in 7. I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I think the Pacers offense can be really problematic for the Knicks. I think they'll try to hunt Jalen Brunson, put him in actions, and try to hunt Carney Towns in the pick and roll. Holly's like 3 balls gonna be really big in this series, and it's gonna be difficult for them because the Pacers can play 5 out. If they're hitting shots like they can, that's gonna be very difficult. I think the Knicks are going to put Mikal Bridges on Holly. I think they're going to put OG Anunoby on Pascal Siakam. They'll probably try to place Cat on Miles Turner and play like that. These are 2 very good offenses.
Hallie?
Huh?
You said Mikal on Hallie?
Mikal on Hallie, yeah. These are 2 very good offenses. And I think in response, the Pacers will put Nembhard on Brunson. They'll put Neesmith on OG Anunoby, probably.
Be on Hart.
Holly's gonna be on Hart for sure, and then they're gonna probably put Siakam or Turner on Cat. Probably Siakam. This is gonna be a clash of titans. It's gonna be a style clash. Both teams, high level offenses. Both teams are going to hunt each other's opposing point guards. They're going to hunt mismatches. The Pacers are obviously going to get out and run. I think the Knicks slow it down a little bit more, if my memory serves me right. But ultimately, I think the Pacers actually might have an edge though because they're a deeper team, by a lot.
The Knicks just needed to be a 5-point game in the last 5-6 minutes of the game. That's just where they want to get it to, and they feel comfortable from there. Like. And even if Indiana finds their way up 20, the Knicks still feel comfortable. Like, not that they feel comfortable, but they're not worried because they're just not going to keep fighting. Expect there's 6. Let me say there's 6 guys. Expect their 6 guys to basically be playing 45 minutes a night. That could get tiring, whatever it may be, but it's the Knicks. It's Tom Thibodeau, and you have a chance to go to the finals. I think they're going to leave it all on the floor. Do whatever I got to. I think Brunson. I know you don't like experience. Brunson, one of those. He lives for these like from college to now. Like he is a big game player. Do not let it get with 5 minutes within 5 points left. Like he's gonna kill you. And I think he could ride that all the way to a finals appearance and pretty much cement his New York legacy. Like he's gonna be immortal in the streets of New York. Like. He good in every hood. I'll tell the Ock myself that he get anything in the store for free.
I do think down the stretch of the games, I'm more comfortable going with the Knicks as far as Jalen Brunson closing. I don't know. I'm really indecisive on this pick because I think the Pacers are a more deeper team. So in the non-Brunson minutes, I want to see how the Knicks hold up. I think Carney Towns is going to be obviously huge in the series. If he plays, he has to play well. He's kind of injured with his finger, so major credit to him for playing well, for playing through the injury because you see a lot of. I know you see the TikToks, man. Where I know you see the TikToks of him of the sassy memes, bro. So hey, he is actually really tough as a player. I know he's like a little flamboyant or whatever.
Draymond owe him a real apology.
Yeah, for sure. Draymond Green got his PR looking crazy right now. But yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting series. I think as we get closer to it, we probably have better analysis of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm almost leaning the Pacers because they have a deeper team. It's gonna be that's gonna be probably the funnest series of the entire.
It's Jalen Brunson. You're watching Jalen Brunson do his thing. You know, all the Knicks, like even Mikal Bridges, starting to look good a little bit here and there, taking the get to spots and whatnot. But like you got their like relentless style of basketball versus like Hallie and them generating literally clean looks down the floor every single time. Like it's just two different approaches to the game. Like that led to like pretty similar results. If I do might say so myself.
That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys, you made it this far, like the video, share the video, follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. And we are out, man. It's pretty late. So see y'all.